Hello, y'all. I'm back. It's 4:24 p.m. So, wow. I went to I went to try to order some lunch to eat at the cafe downstairs, and the man was rude to me. Like, he was. Remember, I told y'all he was rude to me yesterday. So he was rude to me today, and after those whatever Zoom interview, I took a nap, and the nap lasted over an hour. Um, I'm still feeling the sleep deprived feeling. My heart is beating extra hard. It's working extra hard, and so my nap. I bet you if I was in a permanent place to live or a hotel or a motel room, my nap probably could have been longer, and I probably could have gotten more sleep too, or better sleep. And so, after my nap, I went downstairs and tried to order a ham. First I tried to order a ham and cheese sandwich. The guy tried to lie and said, "Oh well, we don't have that. All we have is this one little chicken salad sandwich right here." And so I asked him about the bread and stuff like that, and he said it was some kind of oat oat and something else kind of bread. And I was trying to look at it. It looked kind of like wheat, but he said it was oat and something else. I don't remember what kind of bread it was, but I said I didn't like that kind of bread. Or I didn't want it, and so I said, "You don't have anything solid?" I said, "Because this morning all I had was." I had a little bit of donations this morning. Well, not donations from online, but panhandling in person, between late last night and last night. Somebody gave me $4, maybe 5. And then this morning, somebody gave me $2. And then I forgot I had an extra $1 in my bag. And so, I figured I just knew that the small French toast bites, I figured that wasn't going to fill me up. So I was trying to ask, I really wanted to have like something like protein, not another bread or cereal or processed, bread or, something with processed flour. But, the meat costed a little more, and the eggs costed a little more also. So $2.50 for one egg at that restaurant. So the biscuit costed $2. So I had like French toast bites and a biscuit with some jelly on it. I know that was a lot of sweet, a lot of sugar. But hey, it was all the money I had, But I had $3 and still do at the moment have $3 in the bank. Excuse me. So I mean, that's all I had for breakfast was French toast bites and a jelly biscuit and some water to drink. So later on I asked, a few people. 2 people gave me $5 each, and then a man voluntarily walked up and gave me $5 without me even having to ask. And so I was thankful and glad for that and stuff. So I went downstairs and I tried to, order a ham and cheese sandwich. And the cashier at the cafe, he got rude with me, and so he started to act like he wanted to get disgusted with me because he's a narcissistic abuser, and the fact that he, wanted to make it like it was his choice, and the way he does things is to put tomato on a ham and cheese sandwich. A ham and cheese sandwich is just usually ham and cheese. So I didn't know until after he fixed it and wrapped it up and stuff. I said, "Well, I don't eat tomato." And so he got really flipped with me. And when I tried to ask, I thought I was trying to get some barbecue chips. And I said, "Oh, those are baked Lays?" Oh, said, oh, never mind. He's like, oh, well, you pick the chips out yourself, like got an attitude or whatever. And so then, when I told him about the tomatoes, that I didn't like the tomatoes, and so that's the way I make them and stuff like that. He tried to make it like I had to be forced to accept him having tomato on the on my unwanted tomato on the sandwich, because later on he went, after he lied and said, oh, we don't have, that's all the sandwich we have is that chicken salad sandwich. When he offered to turn around and he turned around and offered to make me a sandwich with white bread, because usually the ham and cheese sandwich is just ham and cheese, but he narcissistically and purposely gang stalking, he and it's like, even yesterday, remember when I told y'all about when he gave me a rude, indirect, unclear answer to a simple yes no question, and then got really nasty with me, and I bit my tongue yesterday. So me being severely dazed or sleep deprived, and then sleep deprivation makes my Tourette's worse, as y'all saw a couple of weeks ago. So without premeditation or without warning, I even shocked myself that I didn't realize that I impulsively had a Tourette's outburst. Like what y'all saw on the video was tics, but what I had just now was an outburst that didn't happen in 3 years. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, about 3.5 years. So and people want to criminalize me for my Tourette's and stuff, but then they do stuff like provoke me and stuff, But he wasn't harmed at all, and he acted like as if it didn't faze him. I guess he knew he was wrong, but I didn't get an apology or nothing like that, and I just went and stormed upstairs, and I went to freaking order Jimmy John's, which would have costed more because the sandwich was about $5 or $6.79. It usually would have been cheaper than that. Ham and cheese sandwich, and he wanted to fix it the way narcissistically fix it the way he wanted and expect me to accept it. He should have been considerate enough to ask me, would you like tomato on it? Rather than him trying to force me to accept the way he wants to do things. But I think it was the perp thing to do because he probably, I never even told him, but the gang stalking network probably told him, well, yeah, put tomatoes on there and make her eat it. Or teach her a lesson about being greedy. Or something. I don't know what they could have told him. Or if he just felt like being a jerk on his own. He's a total jerk. And so I don't even call people jerks and douchebags, but I've been having to call people that lately, not to their face, but I've been saying that about people lately, about being a douchebag, jerk, have an attitude for no reason and stuff. So, I'm never gonna, as long as he's working there, I'm never gonna order from there again. And so what I had to do was be forced to, because of the gang stalking with him, I was forced to, I had ordered Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's also put tomato on my doggone sandwich. And when I ordered it, they didn't have where I couldn't tell them to omit it. So, but the guy who, I don't even know if the guy was a perp that delivered, but everything was fast and efficient and on time. But he had a red car and he had his arm like this, hanging out the window upwards. But attitude-wise, he was nice and everything went smooth. He almost forgot to take the money from me. I almost forgot to pay him, being so sleep deprived and then frustrated from what he did. And I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right. I'm like, wait a minute, here's, you can just keep all the change, just keep everything. But see, I had to pay more for a Jimmy John sandwich, and I got the meal, all that, and then also had to pay a delivery fee. It looks like the delivery fee must be more expensive online. That was my first time trying to do it from the website online, But usually, I'm a nonviolent person, but as I say, I'm days of sleep deprived. And I had like not just a rough week, but a rough month. The whole month of May been just shit for me. The whole month of May. And so you know, tomorrow, and I thought it was gonna be today too, but tomorrow and every day next week, it looked like it's supposed to have really bad weather. And I've been pleading and asking for help. Pleading and asking for help. And it's like the more I ask for help, that's the more the online perps, they do more videos to try to, the gang stalkers online, they try to falsely convince people why they shouldn't help me. But then they get me at my lowest and then they want to try to start making me these fake offers to sell out. That's why they don't want me to have any help from anybody, especially they don't want me to have any help or support from people that's not part of the gang stalking network. So they have smeared me so bad that now nobody wants to help me. And I'm not giving in or submitting to those bastards. I mean, they want me, they don't care if there's Saharan dust that flies on me, or they don't care if it rains, they don't care if it's tornado, hurricane, hail. They don't care if it's doggone. They don't care what weather it is. They think I deserve to be punished with suffering. I mean, y'all have y'all comfortable beds every night, a car to get in with convenience to go anywhere you want. You can cook what you want, when you want, and you can always be a satisfied customer. You know, so I'm sitting here. I mean, even today, I mean, I wish I could have had help with the hotel room or motel or something. And so I'm going to have to be forced on the streets tonight. I mean, as I said, a lot of my support has turned against me because of the lies about me. And even other professed targets, they ought to know better with this, or be able to recognize when something is a smear campaign when they see you being really targeted. So another thing, I don't like being at this library. Twice I almost got into it with homeless people. They had this older black lady who was homeless. I'm sorry, my nose has been itching, and I've been having dry skin and stuff. It's not as bad as when I was in the other motel. Now my skin has cleared up, and it's not. I don't be getting the dandruff as much anymore. But anyway, so it's like I try to get out of the elevator. And instead of being generous and courteous and stepping back for me to get out of the elevator, they want to try to walk in, and homeless perps, it seems like as if they want to try to set a trap to try to walk too close to me or try to bump into me, try to set it up to where they want to try to bump into me on purpose to try to set me up to try to get me to fight them. And they have a lot of sexually perverted homeless men here. I don't even feel comfortable at this library. But I don't even feel comfortable riding the buses either, you know. So I had a lot of videos this morning that I uploaded, and a few of them I had made private because I felt like I didn't want to clog up your timelines too much. But, you know, at the same time, I'm documenting, you know, what I've been going through. And, you know, as I said, I'm not really a violent person, but my twin sister will lie and say, yes, Candy is violent. No, you're violent, and because you like to throw the first lick. So, you know, I try to strive to be non-violent and stuff like that. And in the mental hospital, they provoke you to have a Tourette's outburst on purpose for an excuse to rough handle you and try to kill you and try to smother you and put you in wrestling moves where you can't breathe. And then give you like a torture session. They give you a torture session and then laugh while they're torturing you and then injecting you with psychiatric poison. And try to you know, I forgot what's that word. that they sedate you like an animal. But they're the ones, who get. I heard that in the mental hospital, I heard that they get paid to rile you up and make you lose your temper, and if they can put a cocktail on you and put you in a seclusion room, they get more bonuses from that. That's fraud and human trafficking in psychiatric hospitals. So tonight is gallery night. I like the event, but I will get no peace tonight. No peace and quiet tonight. And there will be definite a whole bunch of noise campaigns and show-offs tonight. I will not be able to get any peace or rest tonight at all. I'm already sleep deprived. And as I said, I don't even have anybody to help me. The people who saying that Candy's an ungrateful scammer with a bad attitude, they're the ones who, TIs turn perps, fake TI perps or regular perps. And they want me to join their cult. So, I mean, this is scary, the idea that people ain't trying to help. This is scary. And so I have another legit job I interview. I'm surprised that company has even reached out to me. That on Monday, wait a minute, a legit company here in Pensacola. I'm not going to mention their name. But I'm supposed to have an interview on Monday. And I don't even know if I have the money to get to go to the job interview. And if I do, I don't know if they'll hire me. And as I said, right now I need help with feminine pads, like the bladder pads, and they usually cost between $10 and $15 for the bladder pads, and I don't know if my the woman's monthly visitor would come. I'm sorry for telling TMI, but y'all the ones who got me on the streets. And, if y'all let me live normal, I would not have to beg. I beg and panhandle out of necessity because y'all force the gang stalking network the narcissistic gang stalking cult network has forced me against my will and cornered me into this position to have to do this. Back then, in 2005, 6, 7, 8, well, even before Hurricane Katrina, my own twin sister, she would be lying if she said, well, Candy always been notorious for being a beggar and a scammer. She'd be lying if she said that. But just for laughs and for fake fun, she probably would lie and say that. Just like David Jane lied and said that I always begged for money in Los Angeles. And I never really, I only did a few times when I was still homeless. But not that much. Like I would be in Hollywood and ask for maybe spare change for McDonald's or something. But I quit eating McDonald's, But I wouldn't ask for too much, and it was only short-lived, but that was before I even met David Jane. But once I got my place in Los Angeles, I didn't even, you wouldn't have caught me begging for no money. But I'll tell you what, David Jane used to ask me for money, and then be like, well, I ain't trying to use you or nothing, but you got $1 for this and that. And he was always begging people for lights and cigarettes and stuff. You got a cigarette, you got a cigarette, you got a light, you got a light. So, it's very dehumanizing and embarrassing for people to shun you about begging and try to make you like you the most. I mean, it seems like murderers and pedos, they don't even get shunned, they don't get looked down upon like a homeless beggar. And then the first thing y'all do is not hire me because I'm homeless. And a narcissistic abuser who delusionally believes that they're smart with resumes and cover letters and interviews and stuff. They're like, don't you ever go and tell nobody you're homeless. Don't you tell the employer that you're homeless. Well, I look obvious, don't I? Look at my hair. I look obvious. Obvious homeless. Look at my hair. Look the way I dress. Everything. Obvious. You know, how many bags I got? Well, I only got one bag, but if I had to carry around a sleeping bag too, I can't hide that. Hide being homeless? Yeah. So, people, I don't have a car, but if I had a car and a place to go take a shower, you know, I can be more stealthy and not have to look homeless and then get me a better job and get me a place real quick, you know. But it's like people are brainwashed and turned against me. Even back in 2020, before Hurricane Sally, I was saying beware of the lies. You have been lied to about Candy Grandpre. Beware of the lies that you've been told about Candy Grandpre. You know. So now people don't want to help me. I'm showing people the bad weather and their hearts are hardened. They do not care. And the professed Christians of today do not match the Christians of the Bible. They're not good Samaritans, true good Samaritans. And the professed Christians these days are rich, narcissistic, arrogant, and stingy. And it's like they got a lot of rich folks in church. And churches, they don't even pass the plate to help the poor and homeless, fatherless and widow. And guess what? I'm in the category of fatherless. My biological father is deceased. Both of my parents. I'm single. I don't have anybody. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a husband. I'm just all to myself. And churches will not pass the plate to help you. I heard that people say the body of Christ is supposed to help the poor, not the government. So churches won't even help you with a hotel or a motel room. They don't want to even help you. It's like they make it like as if homeless people are not allowed to have any access to any money at all. And people always say don't give homeless money because first thing they're gonna do is squander it, and they're gonna go and you know, that the first thing they're gonna do is go spend it on drugs or booze. And for me to be falsely accused of being on drugs, you would have never known a Candy Grandpre to touch drugs. Because most drugs, I don't even know what they look like. I don't know. I mean, I know what weed looks like, but I don't touch it. I hate the smell of it. I don't know what dope looks like. I don't know what crystal meth looks like. I don't know what heroin looks like, but I just know it's through a needle. And whatever other crack, I mean, I recently found out a few years ago what crack looked like, and I don't even touch crack. And I don't know what other, the fentanyl stuff, fentanyl and whatever. I don't know much opioids, and I don't know that much about drugs, and I don't even have interest in drugs. I don't touch alcohol, really, and you know, I try to as best as I could to be a law-abiding citizen. So I've been praying and begging for help. You know, as I said, if society, you know, I almost was out of desperation was gonna try to get. I won't even touch Facebook no more. But I almost was out of desperation gonna try to get back on Instagram or some other social media to ask for help. And I hate to have, you know, the scarlet letter B as in beggar. I mean, other people had the scarlet letter A, adultery. You know, I got the scarlet letter B for beggar. And, you know, how is it fraud or a scam if I ask for hotel room money and the money is actually spent on hotel? Even though some people say that once the money gets in your hands, it's yours to be free to do whatever you want. If I ask for hotel room and I'm homeless, I mean, what else? What else what I have spent it on. If you see me in a hotel, so I didn't lie. I didn't lie. So, they are just being malicious and evil with telling people not to help me. And I don't have many visitors to my blog, and nobody ever really donated via my blog. I made one blog post this morning. I think I talked about that earlier. But one of my YouTube videos that I did, walking to the library, it got cut off and the storage space was I forgot some of the stuff that I was trying to talk about that the video had cut off. I forgot what I was talking about, but I'm asking and petitioning and asking for all the help I can get. If anybody can have a change of heart about the scam thing, which is a gang stalker smear campaign that is not true about me. And I just wish more people offer compassion and help. But as I said, the people who try to make it like, oh, I donated to her, but then y'all turn around and start acting like perps and make me confused, So it seems like everybody's turning. Everybody's turning. But please, I need help with hotel room money and personal things, trying to survive.